Jimmy Buckets, yes, Jimmy freaking Butler, is now a Golden State Warrior. I know, it sounds like something out of an NBA 2K fantasy trade. But nope, it's real life. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, what? Why? How? You're not alone. This move came out of nowhere and shook the league to its core. Jimmy's been the face of Miami Heat toughness for years, and the Warriors, they're already a dynasty. So what does this mean for Jimmy? This video is about everything you need to know about this wild, unexpected, game-changing move. Before we continue to our video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to never miss any of our future uploads. Now let's get started. The shocking trade details. What did the Warriors give up? So let's start with the big question. What did the Warriors actually give up to land Jimmy Butler? Well, buckle up. This wasn't your average player-for-player deal. It was a blockbuster. Golden State sent off Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, a 2026 unprotected first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks to the Miami Heat. Ouch, right? That's a serious haul, especially considering how high the Warriors have been on Kuminga's development. But clearly, they decided it was time to win now. Miami, on the other hand, gets younger and clears up cap space. Wiggins gives them a solid two-way wing, and Kuminga might blossom in that Heat culture environment. But it's obvious. This trade was about going all in for Golden State. They wanted Butler's grit, leadership, and playoff heroics, and they got it. Why Jimmy wanted out of Miami? Now let's talk about something that's been bubbling under the surface. Jimmy Butler's exit wasn't just a business move. It had layers. Over the last season, there were whispers that Jimmy was getting frustrated. Not with the team effort, but with the front office. He wanted help. He wanted one more star next to him. But the Heat? They didn't make any big moves. Remember when Miami was rumored to land Damian Lillard? That deal fell apart, and Butler wasn't happy. Then came the playoff exit, a disappointing one, and Jimmy dropped some cryptic comments in post-game interviews. He talked about needing more help, about changes needing to happen. Classic Jimmy, right? Pairing with Steph Curry. A match made in basketball heaven? Okay, let's just take a second to imagine it. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler on the same team. That's wild. One's the smooth, finesse, three-point magician. The other, a rugged, no-nonsense, bulldog-type player who lives for the grind. The thing is, Steph and Jimmy complement each other perfectly. Curry spreads the floor like no one else, while Jimmy can operate in the mid-range, attack mismatches, and draw fouls like a pro. You want clutch buckets? Both of them deliver. You want leadership? Both are respected, vocal, and know what it takes to win. And let's not forget, Jimmy loves defense. That's exactly what the Warriors have been missing, especially on the perimeter. With Jimmy locking up wings and Steph raining down threes, this duo could be the most balanced backcourt threat we've seen in years. What this means for Klay Thompson and Draymond Green? This move didn't just change things for Jimmy, it shook up the whole Warriors core. And you know who's right in the middle of that? Klay and Draymond. Let's start with Klay. His role is definitely going to shift. With Jimmy in the mix, he's no longer the second or even third option. And coming off a shaky season, Klay might either embrace a more efficient, specialist role, or he might be on thin ice for future trades. As for Draymond, this could actually be great for him. Butler is all about grit and hustle. Draymond's language. These two are going to be best friends on defense, barking out switches, diving for loose balls, and setting the tone. If anything, Jimmy might give Draymond the motivation boost he needs to get back to all defensive form. Is Jimmy Butler the new leader of the Warriors? Here's a hot take. Jimmy might actually take over the leadership role from Steph. Not in a disrespectful way, but in a we're doing this my way kind of energy. Steph is the face of the franchise, no doubt, but he leads with calmness, humility, and by example. Jimmy, he's loud, fiery, and holds everyone super accountable. He brings that locker room energy that can either ignite a team or blow it up. So far, The Warriors' culture has been chill, almost zen-like under Steph's guidance. But with Jimmy in the mix, expect that vibe to change. He's going to challenge teammates, call out lazy play, and demand effort on every possession. And honestly, that might be exactly what the Warriors need right now. After 2 seasons of inconsistent performances and early playoff exits, Butler's intensity could reignite a fire under Golden State. This ain't Jimmy joining their team. This is Jimmy building his version of the Warriors. What it means for the West. Are the Warriors back in the title race? You better believe it. With Jimmy Butler now rocking that Golden State jersey, the Western Conference just got a lot more interesting. Think about it. Last season, everyone had their eyes on the Nuggets, Suns, and Clippers. The Warriors were starting to fade out of the title talks. But now, with Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, and a solid supporting cast, Golden State just reloaded with playoff grit. They're not just a threat, they're a nightmare matchup. Butler brings the defense, toughness, and postseason IQ that Golden State needed desperately. And come playoff time, nobody wants to face a Jimmy-led squad in a Game 7. Suddenly, the West is wide open again. The Lakers are aging, the Suns still have chemistry issues, and the Nuggets just lost key bench pieces. This Butler moves. It might have flipped the power scale all over again. How fans are reacting. Shock, excitement, and a lot of memes. If you've been on social media since the trade dropped, you've probably seen the chaos. Fans are losing it. And honestly, it's been hilarious. Heat fans, they're heartbroken. Jimmy was their guy, the leader, the fighter, the meme king. Warriors fans, most are hyped but also cautiously optimistic. Some are still salty about losing Wiggins and Kuminga, especially the younger crowd who loved watching their growth. But the memes? Absolute gold. We've got Butler photoshopped into a chef's hat next to Steph, Draymond looking shook like he just met his match, and even Klay side-eyeing the locker room like, so I'm the 4th option now. It's all in good fun, but the NBA fan base is buzzing, and that's what makes this move even more exciting. Love it or hate it, Jimmy to the Bay is the most talked about move of the offseason. Will this move finally get Jimmy his ring? This is the big question, right? Butler's had one of the most gritty, hard-nosed careers in the NBA, but he still doesn't have that one thing every superstar craves, a championship ring. He's been so close. Twice he dragged Miami to the finals, and both times he ran into a buzzsaw. But now, he's got a real shot. He's surrounded by a better supporting cast, an elite shooter in Steph, and a system that's proven it can win titles. It won't be easy. Age is catching up to the core. Injuries are always a threat, but if Jimmy can stay healthy and click with the Warriors' style, this might be his last, best chance to finally get that championship. And if he does, man, what a legacy that would be. So here we are. Jimmy Butler is a Warrior. That's not a sentence any of us expected to say this year. But man, what a plot twist. It changes everything. For the Warriors, for the Heat, for the entire Western Conference. It adds another layer of fire to a team that already had legacy written all over it. And for Jimmy, it might be the final chapter of his story, the one where he finally lifts that trophy. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.